It's a land. Step or rise, step, sister, step before we are so step by step. For DST, we have strived to cross those sands over into Delta Sigma, Theta land.
Hello, my sorors. When I tell you, I can't even stop smiling on this episode of our podcast because the women on this screen just make my heart sing with joy, and I'll tell you why. But first, let me let you know that you were on the road to 100. This is the Alpha Gamer podcast because, as you all know, we're about to hit that 100 next year. And we have been having podcasts chatting with some amazing sorors from all types of decades, just learning about our history because they are the women who know the history the best. Now, we started with Sora Blackwell. Let me tell you, she was a firecracker, and I love her dearly. And, then we went on to talk about, instead of what we went to talk about, let's talk about what we're talking about today. Episode 5. If you have not seen 1, 2, 3, and 4, go back and see them because tonight we are joined by the singing sorors. Yes. I have Marlene Anderson on there. She's from 95. Sora JJ, as everybody knows her, from 66. Gloria Merrill, but she was Richardson when she was on the campus of Morgan State. Then I got her DST hat on, so Camilla Raymond from 70. And then we got my so fly. Look at her, Sora Sharon Bullock from 73. And as you can see, we have blind sisters on here, which is another great thing to talk about. So for those, like I said, my heart is singing. Sorors, this episode is all about the Alpha Gamma songs. Because we all know when we get together and sing those songs, it is something so special. I want to do this. I want to start off with you, Sora JJ. Everybody knows you. And she's like, no. Everybody knows you. When it comes to singing and stepping, we look for you to get everything started. And if you're not there, issue. We cannot start after homecoming, the game, without you. So please let everybody know who you are and how you really brought some dynamics to this. And then I want to kind of pull in Storm Arrow.
Well, good evening. I think it's that time of day.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. When I came to Morgan's campus, my name was Janice, but the second day after I was on the campus, it became JJ. So it's been JJ ever since. So I'm Janice JJ Bowie. And I became a member of Delta Sigma Theta in 1966. And I was song leader on my line and made most of the songs, if not all of them. But I became the circle leader as of 1967. I was passed down the books and songs of Alpha Gamma by Sora Aloha J. McCullough, who happened to be the song leader at the time that I was on Morgan's campus, the first time I stepped on that campus and I saw those Delta girls, although I met Delta before then, which had a very strong impact on me. And I was only looking for Delta Sigma Theta. And I found it. And it appears that it found me and won't let me go.
Well, we not let you go either. But this is a great thing about songs. And because it doesn't matter if you pledged in the 50s. I mean, everyone knows who you are. And learning the history about how the circle steps started and how you have kind of got us all organized with it. Gloria Mara, when I found out from you, we didn't really have, I'm saying Alpha Gamma, it really wasn't so much a circle. It was like singing. So take us back to when you became a Delta.
I became a Delta in November 1961. My line number was 2. Something in me gelled with soror Carolyn May and soror Norma Brown, and songs became a part of ourselves, who we were. And Norma Brown really wrote most of the songs. She wrote many of the songs that we're singing today. She's deceased now. She's in Omega Omega, but she's always on my mind. How I got in the circle, as I was saying earlier, I don't know how that happened that I got in the center. All I know is that when we got ready to sing, somebody said, "Let Gloria do it." And a push and a shove, and I was in it. And I started singing. So as far as I know, um, the songs that we sang were basically the ones from the late 50s and into the 60s, I'll say from 1959, 1957 until around 1966, 64.
But let me ask you, you were saying that, like, when were songs actually sung? Were they after meetings? Were
Oh,
they after
oh,
certain?
after
All
chapter,
the time.
because we went to chapter meeting, we always dressed. We were dressed. We were on our best clothes. And we would leave chapter meeting out of Carnegie Hall and we would march across the campus to the dorms. And there were only two, Tubman and Harper. But Harper was not like it is today. Harper, in between Tubman and Harper, was a lot, a large lot. And we would march into that lot and we would start singing. And sometimes, and Frederick Douglass wasn't always in front of Holmes Hall. So we might start in that circle. And it was a circle, not a circle step. And we would start.
You didn't actually form a circle. You just sang.
We formed a circle.
Okay.
We held each other's hands. And we sang, but we did not do any stepping. And same thing would happen in the lot between Tubman and Harper. And people would come out of the dorms, and the fellas would come over, and they'd all surround us while we were singing. It was wonderful.
And they surround us now when we're singing because we are wonderful.
They tried to get into the circle, but
the guys try to get into the circle.
No, I'm saying they were pushing because they were trying to get up front to see all of us singing. And we were dressed. When I say dressed, we were in our high heels when we left Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
I am like it.
So we stepped across that campus, people heard us. They heard us sing from Carnegie to where we stopped.
Okay, so I know that I can hear the singing in your voice. And now, Sora's all on the spot, but Sora, Gloria, you first. What is one of your favorite songs? Come on, sing it. Give me a little bit. Give me a little bit.
Well, it's a cheerful song about pleasure. And it's called The Barbarians. we were called Barbarians. And it was, oh, the Deltas came to the dorm one night. The Bobs were out of sight. But when they got there, the Bobs were gone. They were out of sight. Oh, Delta, Delta, yes, you want us because you sat right down and you voted on us.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
I have that song.
Wow.
But there were others in our little world. And
that's your puppet.
The world goes. We loved it. We loved singing. We were a singing chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And we were part of where it was.
Yeah, I think that part of being a Delta for me, when I got on the campus, and I was open to all sororities. I really didn't. I was like, okay, I'm at an HBCU, but I will say, the Deltas, not only did they run the yard, they were singing sisters. You know, everybody was some singing sisters. So, Sora, JJ, Marlene, I'm going to take you. You know, we're being casual here. Is your puppy good, or should I? You know, your puppy good? No? Okay. So I'm gonna jump down to the two line sisters on the screen. We got for Camilla and Sharon. They know they've been from that big 73 line. They line
Hey.
and I'm so excited to have you ladies join us because each of you have written a song that we sing to this day. And Sharon, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that you wrote that song. And Camilla, I didn't even know. And those are literally two songs that I sing all the time. So now I feel an extra connection to the both of you because I'm like, my soul wrote that song. Is she Alpha Gamma? And it's like, you hear other chapters singing songs from our lines. And I'm like, oh, that's the home base here. So, so Camilla, please introduce yourself and let the Soarers know what is that amazing song that you wrote for Alpha Gamma.
Well, the amazing song I wrote for Alpha Gamma 50 years later is Moving On.
Yep.
Moving On.
Favorite one.
Sharon and I both were with the New Birth 38 line of 73. And
Yep.
we had songbirds on that line. You talking about some singing. We had that. And Moving On came about, like Sharon mentioned earlier, we all were tasked to come up with a song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Moving On is actually an original song. It didn't come from any other song.
Oh, okay.
And the history behind that is, we're on the line, and my thinking was thinking about our founders at the time, because you had Bertha Pitts Campbell, who was an activist, one of our founders, and I was studying her, and I just noticed how through the years she was always committed to service, in public service, and I said, wow, she's still moving on. And that's how that song came about. So we listened to the words that said, we have to step. Well, she stepped with women's suffrage, and she, they did, the march in Washington during that time. But that's how the song came about.
I love it. Okay, now you know I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Give us a little bit of tune.
All right. We have to move.
We have to move.
We have to step.
We have to step.
And go on down the road to Delta Sigma Theta. We walk with pride.
We walk with pride.
Walk side by side. For DST is the only way for me. And I'll go to the end. DST is a strong sorority, serving all humanity. Moving on, moving on.
Now, have you noticed that? See that song, Gloria? I'm telling you, literally, that gives me chills because I can say that I know you now. Not just that I know the song and from hearing the song and singing the song, but when I see you, I'm gonna feel an even deeper connection because to know that you're my soul and Alpha Gamma, and I'm singing a song that you wrote. Okay, Miss Sharon, what you got going over there? Because I know your line sister, she already told us you had a singing line.
We did.
We had a singing line, but that don't mean we all could sing. I wanted to be on the song committee because I wanted to contribute to some of the wordings of the song. So it doesn't necessarily mean I can sing and play a little bit. So like if y'all expect me to sing, Millie, you gonna have to step in because my voice is cracking like crazy right now. But the songs that, we had an amazing song committee. Our late sister, Sharon Craft Moore, she was sort of the chairperson of that committee. And Sharon was like, she was very, very strict on everything that we did and the wording, the tunes, and a lot of them she pulled from gospel songs. Like we had a song called "We Made a Vow." If you guys remember that. And she had songs that were very spiritual, and And I was saying earlier, well, the song that I wrote was We're Doing Our Thing. And it was a fun song. It was a very fun song. And of course, they are still singing it to this day. And something came to mind when during Howard's, I think it was during their homecoming or something that they were having, and they had a video that went viral, and they were singing We're Doing Our Thing. And I said, actually, like, how you respond to a post, and then I said, my Lord, what's that song? Da, 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 da. And I got all kind of comments, they say, well, you're gonna have the naysayers too, right? So of course they're gonna probably from another sorority or something, I don't know. But they were saying like, oh, they was mean, and because one of the lines in there, no pink and green, just red and white, it's out of sight, the pink and green because it ain't clean. Just red and
yes.
Just red and white is out of sight. It was a fun song, and it's just it resonated with a lot of people, and like I said, they're still singing it to this day. And I go on other campuses, all over, different areas, when I was in North Carolina, when I was in Georgia, I mean, they're singing our song, and it just blows my mind. It truly does. So I'm so proud. And
that's what I'm saying. When I hear, now that I know that those songs originated with our chapter, when I go someplace, you best believe I'm gonna tell them, because if you don't know, you don't know. But the fact that now I know, like I said, I'm like, wait a minute, we sing that. I know there are some songs that kind of all deltas that all campuses we all sing, but and then they have theirs that I have no clue what they're singing, and we have ours that they have no clue. But these songs here, oh no. If I go, there could be Aggie Pride, but I'm gonna let them know that's a Alpha Gamma song.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
they understand. That's what's so important. One of the things I want to talk to you all, JJ, I definitely want to bring you in here when we get to homecoming, because it's coming up next month, and the circle's gotten bigger and bigger. I mean, much larger. That sometimes I've seen them have to do 2 circles because
double and triple.
Because there's so many people. When you hit that circle and you have your your megaphone, because I'm gonna be honest, I can always hear you because there's so many people out there. What is your main thing to get the message to the sorors about us singing together? Because how do you even do that?
Well, it's getting more difficult each year, but as things progressed, we, myself and another person, I think it was Akila, realized that we needed some help. So I said, okay, it's time to form a committee. And then so we happened to get some people who I knew who could sing, and I knew that had become Deltas after I knew them prior to being a Delta. And of course, they didn't tell me they were pledging, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Not that we were in the choir together, but anyway, we formed a committee. Because prior to that, we did not have a committee, because it got to the point that it was hard to get around to everybody in the circle to tell you who was singing. Because Gloria can attest to the fact that all we had to do was pass the word. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it went all the way around because people paid attention. But now people are not paying that much attention. So we had to develop a process. And therefore, the process was put on placards what songs we're going to sing next. And so now we have people going around, seeing the placard of what songs are going to come next so they can prepare themselves. And the other thing was that, just like that. And the other thing was that we needed to have, something to project. So we started out with megaphones, and that worked for a little while, and the circle just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So then we started microphones, and it still is, a concern that our sorors will say, we couldn't hear you, and we couldn't hear you, and we couldn't hear you. But we forewarned you ahead of time what we would get ready to do. Consequently, you should have been ready. So we just move. I just tell them, look, just move on, because we can't stand here all the time waiting for people to be quiet, because people are not going to be quiet.
Right.
That's not happening.
around you that are talking and want to, but and nonetheless, this is how we are doing it now, because at least they have some semblance of what is going to come up next, and what song is going to be. And 10 to 1, there's going to be a lot of people that don't even know the song. And what we try to do is try to take songs that we've sung before, we've heard before,
A
that's
mixture.
and do a mixture, and we do a certain number of songs, because I tell you, we got a list at some point in time, right, Marlene?
Yes.
We had a list of 20 some odd songs we were going to sing, and we were to them, jump right to them, jump right to them.
Right.
But then people will say, "No, that's too many songs." I mean, sometimes we were there singing in the dark.
Well, it got dark. Yeah.
Dark.
Let me ask you this, or JJ, what is or one of your favorite Alpha Gamma songs? Do you have? I mean, I know there's a lot of.
I have several favorites, and they're not necessarily songs that require a lot of moving and fun songs or whatever. But they are songs to me that I have to credit to my sorrows that came before me.
Okay.
That
I'm gonna
have
ask it for you.
go ahead. I have
No,
taken
I'm
into
gonna
my
ask it
heart.
for you.
Huh?
No, I'm sorry. I said I'm going to ask each what your favorite song is.
That I have taken to my heart, that are slow, and they give you the feeling of the spirituality of what Delta Sigma Theta is. And one of my favorites of that, before I say that, I wrote a song too that is being sung for 59 years.
Okay, well, we need to hear this one, because guess what? I'll be 59 in 2 months. So come on, sing.
Uh-oh.
So anyway, that one was Soros, hey for DST, hey Soros.
Yeah.
And it was a pledge song, and we just changed it into a
That was
sorority.
good too. Yeah.
Okay, so that you guys know that song.
What the beat is off.
Oh, that beat comes off of when I used to go to summer camp, residential camp, and the guys used to we used to do things like come up to the dining hall singing a unit song from their unit. And one of the units was sardines, hey, from pork and beans, hey, sardines on that plate, and I don't need no sorry, hey, and pork and beans.
Wow.
And then I've added the verses about every morning by my sister's side. So I wrote that from a camp song, and it was a line song, and then it just flowed right into. I said, "Oh, that's easy to make me flow right into a sorority song." I didn't know it was going to stay this long, but it keeps being one of the favorites. Okay, but now what my favorite song was, I have several, but this particular one, I have a song. We did a song to the hymn to the Big Sisters. That was one. And then there's another one called Sacred Haven. And it went to the tune of Green Cathedral. And it goes like, there is a sacred haven, a hallowed promised land, where women meet and always each other with a smile. The world's walls of this great haven are the strongest that we know, for it's built on love, fortified by faith, and its name is Sisterhood.
All right. Yeah, that's nice.
That's part of it.
That's nice.
Okay, I love that. And when you talked about the sardines one, I was like the writer on my line, so I actually wrote one to that same beat, because the whole sardines and pork and beans is like a go-go remix here in the DC area. So I wrote one for Pyramids, Hey of DST, right? So it's just we have a connection with the whole songwriting too. So Gloria, what is your favorite song? Or do you have one?
Yeah. I other than the pledge song, it's I want to be a Delta. I want to be a Delta. I want to be a dynamic Delta.
Right.
I want to be a Delta right here in my heart. And then we go with I'll sing for Delta, I'll whatever for Delta. And then the other one that we liked was uh oh gosh, oh it just went out of my head, but it comes from the line of 60. From the line of 60. Um oh, let me see. Oh, it's right after a song that a very popular song at the time. Will we be deltas tomorrow?
Oh,
I
will
can't.
you love me
Tonight you're
tomorrow?
mine
Okay.
completely. Goes to that tune.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely an old song.
yes.
The
But
other one that I wanted to say,
a lot of the songs that we sang, and Sorrow Norma Jean Brown, God rest her in Omega Omega. She
Mhm.
was a very talented woman. She knew how to make a song. And when she told Carolyn May and I to make a song, I said, okay, we didn't, no, not a question about it. And we would stay at my mother's house on the weekend so that we wouldn't be bothered. And we would create a song. And I'm gonna tell you this. This was a story. I got in Janice's bed when she was pledging.
Okay, but I think you need to clarify that one.
I was protecting her from other sorors who wanted to bother with her because she was the singer on her line. And I didn't want anybody to come into her room at night. So I decided to get in that bed.
a
And
twin bed, you, by the
A
way.
twin bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
nobody came. Trust me. I wanted that voice to be ready the next day.
Okay, Sora JJ, take it away,
Um,
Sora JJ, because you need to go ahead, finish on how that all worked out. And you said you had another song, but you got to finish up that story. How did all that end up?
What's her sleeping in my bed?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, so you were safe, and
Yeah,
did you get some sleep? Nobody bothered you.
that's
Everything was
right.
I was cool as a cucumber. Well, I lived in the freshman dorm, so it wasn't too many big sisters coming through there because the dean of women lived in that dorm.
Oh, okay.
mm.
Now you said you had another song that you liked.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, what Gloria? What was you gonna say?
the song that are you talking to me or Jay?
No, I'm asking. I'm sorry, JJ.
Okay.
But I don't.
This
But if you had, I don't want to cut. See, I didn't
No,
want to
no,
cut
no.
anybody off.
I'm trying to remember them. Look, I'm 83 years old. Okay.
Well, see, the interesting thing, while she's 83 years old, trying to remember songs. I'm 78 years old, still trying to remember songs. Okay, so that's why I'm saying the songs that impressed me the most and came to my heart and my soul were songs that our big sisters used to prepare us to sing because we did different things on campus to the point that we had a red and white cotillion. And the red and white cotillion was where they were introducing the pyramids to the Morgan campus and anybody else would come. We had to wear white gowns and everything. So, but this particular song was called "Hymn to the Big Sisters." As pledges
That's
from
the
our
song.
living heart to reach that delta side. Our hearts are always true to do as you say to. We'll do our very best to prove above the rest that we are worthy to become good deltas too.
That's nice.
Yes, pretty.
And part of that,
You are ideal. We want to make you feel
Mm.
that with you as our guides, we'll reach the Delta side. Someday, if we stay true, we'll be good Deltas too. We hope you'll stay the same as your soror and friend.
Beautiful.
That's
Oh, that's
nice.
pretty.
Now,
That's really
how doesn't it make you feel like deep down in your heart,
mm-hmm.
have
that
got to make it through?
Yeah.
idea of the cotillion
Say
was
again, baby.
Soror Thelma Cox,
Oh, yeah.
Alpha Gamma. And of course, she's in Omega now. But she was the one that made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it went dead for a while.
Yes,
But
it
then with my line, it came back, the cotillion.
Okay.
Mm.
And not Laura Jean Bird, but Phyllis, Laura
Laura
Bird, Laura Phillips Bird. Her father took a picture of us in our gowns. It went to the Afro, a big picture of us. And I have a picture. I don't know where it is right at this moment, but part of that song, Carolyn May and I were directed to write a song called In Our Little World.
Yeah, that's my
Our little
Oh my
world.
God.
Let the
That is
rest
my favorite. Yes.
my favorite too.
You got to sing. Okay, Sora Gloria, please. You got to in our little world. I love that one.
in our little
That,
world,
that needs to all of us to sing. That harmony in it.
the Delta girls, we're Delta.
Right here.
And then it went on. I don't remember all the words right
It
now.
starts out as the promise
That
was made.
song was supposed to make everybody understand
Mhm.
no matter what else comes up, no matter who's in an Alpha Kappa Alpha or Zeta Phi Beta, no matter who it is, we're Deltas.
Deltas, yes.
Right here in our heart.
Right
here
here
in
in
our
our heart.
Yep.
And to
That's right.
tell the truth, Norma wrote it for Alpha Gamma, but the first chapter that sang that song was in DC at Beta. Well, they were DC teachers. I don't know what they are now.
Oh, okay.
You see,
Yeah.
But they sang it first Norma said we got to sing that.
I love that.
And Carolyn May and I were told go to sit down and come up with a song.
This is what goes in between it.
She's
Isn't that
wonderful.
something?
Carolyn is deceased now as well.
So
And
this
in
is
that-
why, having this podcast and bringing together amazing sorors like you all on here, so the ones that are before us and the ones that come after us can understand the history and the tradition of songs that started right here with Alpha Gamma. Okay, Sora Camilla, favorite? I know with yours was your favorite, but
in our little world is my
Yes.
favorite.
oh,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Sharon, that's one of your favorites too.
I have a lot of favorites, but that is one of them definitely.
Yeah.
I like, well, all the songs that we wrote really. We made a vow. We're doing our thing, of course. Moving on, all of those are still my favorites, and and to sort of get it seems like with every homecoming, those are the songs that get the most attention, even when we sing them now. So that's what I'm so proud of. And I just hope the tradition continues beyond our years, And I want to say, by the way, that not only were Millie and Camilla, We called her Millie.
So the Millie.
Millie and I,
Yeah.
Lion Sisters, we were also roommates.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
and Millie was a cheerleader. She was very, very good. Oh my God. Imagine standing on one leg and the other leg straight, just like the one on the bottom, but by your ear, like this. That was Millie. That was Millie.
Wow.
And
I did not know.
and she was also Miss Morgan. You can't leave that out.
Okay, you know what? Why see, you dropping the alpha and the gamma? Why you didn't tell all this, Sora Camilla? Why you didn't tell all this,
I'm sticking with the subject matter, of the podcast. So.
Yeah, but you probably were cheering and singing, because cheerleaders, you got to do some type of singing and clapping.
Yeah, you do. You do.
All of the above. All of the above.
well,
Yeah.
what I have a concern is that the young ladies of today have no interest in dealing with the past, and some of the songs from the past gives them a greater concept, as I was just saying, a greater concept of what the sisterhood and the spirituality and the togetherness
Most definitely, yeah.
and all of that means to bring us closer as sisters.
And I'm still with my personal. She, she still has that hat I made her. She says she flops around and she tosses it around the room because it looks like a flying saucer, she said. But that's what JJ is saying here. That unity. I'm with those big sisters from the 50s. I'm on email with them. I'm on Facebook with them. They're still sing, and they come together. The ones who are still living, they come together even now, and they sing. They sing. They have come to homecoming, and they've been disappointed because nobody sings their songs. I know them, and I had, when I was in the circle, I used to try to tell, let's sing that song, but nobody wants to sing it.
Well, not only do they not want to
They
sing,
don't come back.
they don't.
I was going to say that.
Come back.
Yeah,
I haven't been at homecoming in years.
I will say that for me being in the 80s, so I had, all the big sisters in the early 80s, 70s, and earlier than that. It's, to me, I feel like you learn and what you give to the next generation. So if they don't feel that they want to take the ones, like you just said, that you learned, to give them to the 70s, to give them to the 80s and so on, we lose that connection of songs. Because like I have been in homecoming and I literally would stand still and listen to you sing because I didn't know it. And it wasn't like I wasn't interested. I'm trying to shush people so I can hear it. Because like you said, when you hear the words and you hear the meaning behind the words, that's when I personally would say, as I'm getting older, I really wish I knew more of those songs. Because you can have a songbook with words, but if you don't know what the song sounds like,
what it sounds like,
then it's hard for, like I said, reading the words are beautiful words, but if I can't hear the song or to know, and that's something as a chapter, I really wish, like we talked about tradition. We have some songs of the Alpha Gamma tradition that we just know because we know when we love them. But the songs that you and Sora Gloria sang, I want to know more of those songs. And I want our younger Soras to know more too. So I'm hoping that, during our 100th, we'll be able to have like a fireside chat with you ladies.
That would be
awesome.
That really would be good. Yeah.
This is our legacy. These are songs that our sorors of Alpha Gamma wrote that you're stepping and singing to now. I think that is so important that so they understand, because you made a footprint, forever for women. And I can say on this podcast how I'm just happy to know that. I mean, all this time, like Sharon, I never knew this, and I've known for years, and never knew. And come on, I mean, I never knew. But if you don't know, you know now you know. And my aunt, she didn't even tell me. Aunt Carolyn, why didn't you tell me you wrote that song? The power. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She goes, it was just something for the line. I didn't know it was going to become that. It was just a line song. But look at this.
Yes.
That history. Now, Marlene, what's your favorite? You got to come on now. I know you got a favorite.
So I do have a favorite, not necessarily. I have a couple of favorites. Let me say,
We all have a couple, yes.
I could sing Alpha Gamma songs all day and all night, but one of the songs that I love so much, and we don't sing it at homecoming, but it's the PY song.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
That song I don't know where
Ooh.
I don't know where it came from. I know it explicitly, but I don't know
Yeah.
where
It
from.
came out of the 50s. I do know that.
Really?
Hmm.
That song means so. When I say it
That
means
makes
so,
me
I
cry.
can't put
Oh
it
my
in
God. It's
exactly.
Yeah.
oh JJ,
I
we should sing, oh, we gotta sing that at the if we don't sing it at homecoming, we gotta sing it, at the anniversary. Oh my gosh.
And
About our ages.
Oh, that's some chills up me, right? It's
A lot of the 50s, some of them are still living. As I said before, I'm still in touch with some of them.
Wow.
you're
They
all
know
born.
songs
54.
that had come down and have been modified in some way.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um, but the PY song came out of the 50s.
Wow.
okay,
Yeah, because see, that's what I'm saying. Bring some of these songs back so that they can be carried on further.
right.
And one of the problems is that, as Gloria mentioned before, whenever we had a chapter meeting, we was out on the yard singing. We was on the yard singing. Everybody knew that, the Deltas had their meeting tonight. We got to go out there and blah, blah, blah. And so consequently, we were always singing. And during the years of the 60s and the early 70s, what was I going to say about that? I had a brain fart just then. Oh, during those years, even while we were pledging, the goal was to always write songs, as
Yep.
Sharon can say. And when you write them songs, always sing those songs.
Yep.
Okay,
That's true.
write
And
songs,
see, that's what I thought all lines did.
sing the songs. When do you sing the songs? Every time you get a chance, after every chapter meeting. And at the time, and it's not going to happen now, but I know at the time when we pledged in the 60s, we had 3 Greek shows where we had to present songs. We had one in the
We sure did.
refectory, we had one in the gym, and we had one in the old Murphy Auditorium.
Yeah.
The old Murphy Auditorium was during the pro week, and that was the time. And we know we had to do our best because hopefully we were going over. Hopefully, because it was pro week. Y'all have changed the name. I don't mean y'all individually, but have changed
But
the name.
yeah,
Week.
JJ, we know about
It
Pro
was
Week.
pro week. So we were singing everywhere.
Now they call it the NIP.
They call it the New Initiates Program.
But it was Pro Week, and that whole week,
A whole week.
campus know
Singing every day
every day.
Mhm.
and everywhere.
You stepped in, you sang.
Do we have like a book of just Alpha Gamma songs that we wrote? I mean, if not, that would be a really nice publication to have, or have a souvenir book.
We have an Alpha Gamma book to say that we wrote all the songs that are in this book.
But what would be nice, since we wrote so many of them, to have a souvenir book that with our songs, the ones that were actually written by Alpha Gamma.
Every chapter is
Well, see, that's going to be
up, Gloria.
I'm not saying that we can't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be a hard project because sometimes people get songs from other places and then they end up being a song that we sing all the time, and it's not necessarily an original Alpha Gamma song.
Right.
That's where the problem lies.
In her chapter, Gwinnett, Georgia, they're singing our songs. I know because she tells me, I got your song.
Towson took some of our songs.
Towson.
Yeah. Towson took some of our songs. I don't mean I don't
know
mean
what you're saying.
Steal them. I don't mean
they're singing them.
Right.
Right.
I mean that they like the song. And as I was telling Marlene a couple of days ago, a Delta song, especially if it doesn't have Alpha Gamma in it, a Delta song is a Delta song. That's my feeling.
So
a Delta song is a Delta song. If it's got your chapter name in it, if Towson had their chapter name in a song, then it's a Towson song. But a Towson song. But if we like the song and we sing it, it's still a Towson song. So your songs filter to other chapters
Sure,
because
sure. Well, that's the whole thing. It's I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about just it being a Delta song. I'm saying
I know
or Alpha Gamma, I mean, just like the two of you, I mean, you're our historians, really, because you have mentioned things that were written, for example, Gloria, you mentioned things that were written in the 50s and so forth by Alpha Gamma. So you would be our historians for gathering that information. And I would love to work on a committee to actually have those songs available at our anniversary. And Cassandra is really good at that too. And I'm going to, and JJ, if you don't mind, I really would like to include and you too, Gloria, and on that committee to help us,
And we better hurry up.
even the songs that you've mentioned here, I didn't even know that they were written by Alpha Gamma.
We better get to those 50s because there's not many of them left.
right.
So we're going to do it. And like I said, I know I'm in touch with at least 5 of them.
Are they local in the Maryland area?
No.
Well, you had 3 of them on one of the pods. Burma,
Yeah, Burma.
and she was person who was an officer. Gloria, you know her. Barbara Mosley Davis.
Yeah, she pledged me.
So she you had them on 3 of them on a early podcast.
Yeah.
Micheline.
Well, I want to ask each of you one last question because all 4 of you are like, I consider the foundation of Alpha Gamma songstress, I'll call you. And because of that, for those sorors that are younger and they're watching this, and even for the older ones, but I'm thinking about because we are all, Marlene's the youngest on here. But I just what would you like to say to a soror when it comes to just our singing and our, our sisterhood? Because, we're more than singing, as everybody knows. We're definitely singing.
And we're more than singing and wearing colors too. But.
Exactly. But what would be your last word just to share with the Alpha Gamma sorors watching this? A word of wisdom when it comes to our songs. I'm going to start with you, Sor Gloria.
Well, the first thing I would think about, and I hope that they will too, is to think about where you came from as a Delta, how you got to be a Delta, and particularly if you got it from another Alpha Gamma Delta, an older Delta. Think about that past, because that's where everything begins, in the past.
Yes.
I'm a historian by trade. I taught at Morgan, and that's what I taught. And my feeling is that if you don't look back, you're going to miss what's up front.
I love it. Wow. I'm going to drop the mic. So,
right. I can echo that. What was before you, if it wasn't for something before you, it may not have been a you. That's right. So if it wasn't the Deltas before you, you may not have been a Delta. And you need to respect the past in order to move it on in fortitude to the future.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Sora Mila, what you call it?
Millie. She called me Millie. I was really thinking about it. I think that today's lines are challenged due to the number of people on the lines. So I think there has to be a conscious effort to break up the lines in order to get this history through, because there's so many now. Instead of rubber stamping Alpha Gamma, it needs to be a little bit more, about our history and the songs and all those types of things.
Okay, so share.
And the biggest thing that I think about is pride. have pride in where we came from and what Delta really, really means to us. And think about the ones that came before you and how we built this sorority to be as great as it is, and that you want to maintain that. You want this legacy to live on and on and on generationally. And just think about that when you're out there representing Delta Sigma Theta. Just think about the sisterhood and what the ones way, way, way before you sacrificed to be here so that you can be here. And just,
Yeah.
just take
Well,
pride.
I'm gonna leave this with one thing, and then I need everybody to join me for this last request.
Okay.
I am third generation. No, I'm one, two. I'm third generation. My daughter was fourth generation Morgan, and my granddaughter told me she's going to be fifth generation Morgan State. She already told me she's going to be Alpha Gamma. She goes, my mom, you got to hang around because I'm going to Morgan State to be a Delta. I'm like, okay. So I promised her she'll be 10 this month. I said, well, okay. So in 7-8 years, when you go to Morgan State, God spare me, I'll be here. So I'm thinking, in 20 years, I want to be on that campus, bringing her in too with me and my daughter. So that's my little Alpha Gamma spiel because you can't tell her. And kids learn, they're like sponges. They'll be around, even not just being around, listening to the songs all the time, and they pick up. Like, you've seen it, they just pick up. So I want to end us. I know we might sound kind of crazy because it might be a little distorted, but just to be a Delta girl.
Came from my line.
Wow.
I'm sorry?
That came from my line.
See what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Look, we could publish this book and be a bestseller.
It would be. It would be.
Our song book. Our song book.
Yeah.
Because it's
I'm gonna be contacting y'all.
the Sigma thing.
Okay, you know what? So I'm not going to end it because I'm going to let you end it. Go ahead, Sora Mara. We're going to end it. Just give us a line. Just go ahead. You take it away.
To be a Delta girl. A Delta girl. The finest in the world because it's Alpha Gamma Delta Sigma Theta. Alpha Gamma Delta Sigma Theta. Just to be.
I love it.
Yes. Love
Yes.
And that starts out slow. It starts out low, and then the volume builds as you keep repeating it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it started out low or not, but I know when we.
I know that's how it went when I was there.
By the time it came to you, that's how it came out.
Yeah,
for a while.
It got past me.
Well, I want to send each of you Alpha Gamma hugs.
I want to hear you. And we used to cut corners. So when you marched, cut that corner.
Oh,
it's like that.
Wow.
Sorors, I just want to say thank you so very much. I'm sending you each individually and collectively an Alpha Gamma hug. This has been an amazing sit-down talk as we head toward the road to 100. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next year or sooner than that, because I'm seeing Sharon all the time, it seems. But I love you. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge, your experience, sharing your voices, your songs. And like I said, just to be.
Hey.
Make sure you follow our podcast, ladies. And you know what? DST Road to 100. Love you all. Good night, ladies. Good night.
Right. Love you.
Night, everybody.
Just to be a Delta girl. A Delta girl. The finest in the world because it's Alpha Gamma Delta Sigma Theta. Alpha Gamma Delta Sigma Theta.